Assalamualaikum class. So for today's video, I will explain to you about the preparation of insoluble salt. Okay, so in previous video, you already learned the types of salt, which is soluble and insoluble salt, and you know already which one is insoluble salt. So for insoluble salt, we should use the reaction we call as double decomposition or ionic precipitation. Okay, so as you know, it is insoluble. Of course, the salt that produced later will form in a solid state. So this solid state we call as precipitate. It's just where the solid is settled down at the bottom. We call that part is as a precipitate. Okay, so for example, I want to prepare the lead sulfate. Okay, as you know, for the sulfate, all sulfate salts are soluble except PCB, pantai cahaya bulan. So lead sulfate is one of the insoluble salt. So how you want to prepare the lead sulfate? As for the insoluble salt, you should use the formula is soluble plus soluble salt plus soluble salt, you produce insoluble salt, and also you produce soluble salt. Okay, so this is the formula for the double decomposition. Okay, so from here, so what you need to understand is to prepare the lead sulfate, you must have two soluble salt. Okay, so now you already know that your salt is lead sulfate, which is PbSO4. Okay, this is your insoluble salt. Okay, so here you need to determine your reactants, which is must be soluble salt and also must be soluble salt to get lead sulfate. So this the first salt here, you must have lead because your product contain lead, so this salt must have lead. So you need to ask yourself which lead salt will be soluble. Okay, so basically we will use lead nitrate. Why I'm using lead nitrate? Because as you learned before, all nitrate salts are soluble. So you can use lead nitrate as your soluble salt here to get lead. You cannot use lead chloride because as you know, all chloride are soluble except Pa. So lead chloride is insoluble, so you cannot use lead chloride here. Okay, same for lead carbonate. You also cannot use lead carbonate here. So to be safe, basically we are using nitrate salt lah. Okay, so here you already get the lead. But now, this salt must have sulfate because your product contains sulfate. So, you need to ask yourself which sulfates are soluble. Okay, so all sulfate are soluble except PCB. So, you can take sodium sulfate, Na2SO4, because it is soluble. So, soluble plus soluble, you will get insoluble salt, which is lead sulfate. So what happened to nitrate and sodium? They will be partnered together to become sodium nitrate, which is soluble salt. Okay, why I said this is soluble salt? Because all nitrate are soluble. Okay, so now you need to balance. Nitrate you have 2 here, you should put 2 here. Sodium you have 2, so it's balanced already now. So this one we call as double decomposition. Okay, soluble salt plus soluble salt, you will produce insoluble salt and soluble salt. Okay, let's try another example. For next example, we try to use to prepare let's say you want to prepare calcium sulfate because it is insoluble. So to prepare calcium sulfate, you must have soluble plus soluble salt. So your insoluble salt is calcium sulfate, which is CaSO4. Okay, so now you know that your salt must have calcium. So which calcium are soluble? So to be safe, we can use calcium nitrate because you know that all nitrate are soluble. So one more soluble salt must have sulfate because your product contains sulfate here. So you ask yourself, which sulfate are soluble? Yes, you can also use sodium sulfate here because the one that you want here is only sulfate to be partner with your calcium. So calcium will partner with sulfate, so sodium will partner with nitrate. So your one more product will be sodium nitrate. So you get two here. Okay, so very simple reaction, ionic precipitation. You just remember the formula. To get the insoluble salt, you must have soluble salt plus soluble salts. Okay, but you need to be careful which soluble salt you should use. Okay, later I will share you exercise. You may answer that. You may try to uh, answer the homework to test your understanding. Okay. So this one is how we prepare. For example, in this cup, I put lead nitrate. So in this cup, I put potassium iodide. So the chemical equation will be lead nitrate plus potassium iodide. Okay, so which salt I will get? I will get lead iodide. Okay, iodide basically almost similar with chloride. So actually, you learn that all chloride are all chloride are soluble except Pa. P is lead chloride, so lead iodide also will be insoluble. Okay, so here this is my insoluble salt. So here I put my soluble salt, lead nitrate. How I know it is soluble? All nitrate are soluble, and potassium iodide is soluble. Why? Because potassium is group 1. All group 1 salts are soluble. Okay, so now here I already write down the chemical equation. I just want to teach you how to develop the ionic equation. You remember in the previous video I already teach you. So the technique is once you know they are soluble or insoluble, you split them into ion. So lead nitrate, you can split them to become charged Pb2 plus, and if, nitrate you have 2 here, so you have 2 NO3 minus. Okay, why you can give charge to this salt? Because they are soluble. Okay, so this one also soluble, so you give charge to them. Okay, you have 2 potassium here, so 2K plus, and you also have 2 iodide here, it become 2I minus. Okay, next is you check this one. This one also soluble. So how many potassium you have? 2 times K, you get 2K plus. Nitrate also you get 2, so you have 2 nitrate here. And this one you cannot give charge to them because they are insoluble. Okay, so you cannot give charge. Okay, so now you already write down your you already split the charge, so now you check which one is similar. 2 nitrate and 2 nitrate are similar, so you can cross out, and 2K plus and 2K plus also similar, you can cross out. So the one that you didn't cross out is Pb2 plus, then you have plus here with 2I minus to produce your insoluble salt, which is PbI2. So this one we call as ionic equation because you can see the charge here, the ion here. Okay, so remember how the technique to prepare the insoluble salt. I hope you can try to answer the exercise given in Google Classroom. Okay, thank you.